Hey guys, long time no see. I want to give a bit of a quick intro, but also give some context. Epic Wolf Bros is a channel with 500 subscribers, and it's under the Plush community, which is a pretty big community on YouTube. It is ran by one of my good friends, Xavier. I'd recommend checking out his videos before watching this, since you probably won't be too familiar with the characters. But now, I present to you a twisted version of an EWB video. Enjoy. I turned out the lamp on my nightstand, preparing to go to bed, until I got a notification on my phone that Xavier posted a new video, which caught me off guard, because usually when he posts a new video, he promotes it on his socials, or even tell me personally. But I brushed that aside when I saw the title and thumbnail, which left me confused. The title was called Bowser Jr.'s Psychotic episode, and the thumbnail portrayed Bowser Jr. with blood splatters all over him. I clicked on the video, not knowing what to expect. Immediately, the video began with Junior covered in blood, and although these videos were portrayed by dolls, Junior almost looked vicious. And then it cuts to a black background, and then text appears that read, 1 month earlier. Then it cuts to Junior and his father, Bowser, in the doctor's office, and the doctor diagnoses Junior with schizophrenia disorder. Junior obviously can't believe it. The doctor exited the room, and Bowser decides to comfort Junior after he's clearly at a loss for words over what he just heard. And then, Bowser opens up a bit. He tells Junior that he also suffers from schizophrenia, but always kept it hidden because he didn't want his son to view him differently. I thought it was kind of strange that Xavier would discuss such a serious topic like this in a Plush video. Usually his videos played out a joyful mood. The videos would have adult humor here and there, but it wasn't often. Back to the video, it cut to Junior in school, with text at the bottom reading, 1 month later. Junior is still obviously confused about his diagnosis, and it can be easily seen that he wasn't in a good mood. Then the camera cuts to the doorway of the classroom. Junior's friends walk in. They look nervous when they realize they have to walk by Junior's desk in order to get to their seat. When they went to do so, they passed Junior and looked at him in fear. They obviously saw him as a threat. Later on, Junior asked his teacher if he can go to the bathroom. The teacher told Junior to grab a hall pass and he'd be free to go. When Junior leaves the classroom, a new student named Rock Ledger entered the classroom. Although this was his first appearance, you could easily tell his character was the school bully. He walks to someone's desk and tells him to get up. The person sitting there immediately jumped out of their seat and ran off. As soon as Rock sits down, Junior walks back in the classroom. Rock sees Junior and automatically sees him as, well, a loser, so he decides to have his fun with him. So right before Junior sat back down, Rock came up behind him and pulled his chair, causing Junior to fall on the floor. Junior looks up and the camera cuts to Junior's perspective. We see the students around him laughing. Echoes of the laughter can be heard. The music was intensifying to indicate Junior was about to snap, and Junior starts breathing very heavily and in an infuriated way. As soon as we think Junior is about to go crazy, the music stops, and he starts breathing normally. He then runs out of the classroom and exits the school building and then runs back to his house. He gets to the kitchen and is clearly upset about what just happened. Shapipi asks why he looks down, and then Junior explains everything that occurred. But instead of Shapipi comforting him, he starts laughing and mocking him. Junior is immediately infuriated, not at the situation, but him and Shapipi have had their differences for years, and Junior is tired of it. He decides to teach Shapipi a lesson. While he was still laughing, Junior runs over and starts strangling him. However, Junior plans to just scare Shapipi and maybe just choke him for around 5 to 10 seconds. But then he notices Shapipi is attempting to fight back. Junior realizes that Shapipi is bigger, taller, and possibly even stronger than him. So if he lets him free, he can leave Junior to be extremely bruised. So Junior realizes he must never let go. Shapipi lets out an exhale before collapsing. Junior knows he can't let his dad find out about this, and he knows that when Shapipi wakes up, he'll tell his dad himself. So Junior grabs a knife, cuts Shapipi up, and the camera cuts to Junior going to the dumpster and throwing a bag of Shapipi's remains into it. We then cut to Bowser talking to himself about how he installed security cameras all around the house, except for the bathroom, of course. He decides to test out its functionality and goes to the living room camera. He sees nothing, but then he notices some movement in the far corner, but he can't make out what it was. So he cuts the camera in the kitchen, and he is terrified. He sees Junior cutting up Chef Pee-Pee's body and putting it into a trash bag, and then exiting the house. Bowser is shocked by what he saw, but he doesn't want to call the authorities on his own son, so he decides to confront Junior. Bowser makes his way to the kitchen and sees that Junior is back from throwing out Chef Pee-Pee's body. Bowser screams at Junior, and this was an ordinary yelling between a parent and their child. There was so much emotion in his voice. Bowser claims that even he's not that crazy to take someone's life. Junior takes out his knife and asks, "Did you call me crazy?" and then aims his knife at Bowser. Bowser is accepting his fate until Junior turns the knife on himself and stabs himself repeatedly. Bowser is screaming and crying, telling Junior to stop, but it was too late. Junior was gone. Bowser drops to his knees, letting out his emotions. We see a tear fall off his face and drop into the puddle of Junior's blood. We then cut to the security camera, showing the entire scene, with Junior's corpse being in frame and Bowser crying right next to him. We see Bowser take the knife from Junior's hand. He turns the knife on himself, and the video ends. No outro. I immediately called Xavier to ask him what he was thinking making such a violent video like this, but he had no idea what I was talking about. I want to send him the video, but it was gone. To this day, I don't know if Xavier just put the video in private and it was just a big lie, or if it was a dream. Well, not necessarily a dream, a living nightmare.